XRP to the US dollar price chart on the weekly is showing the D line at 7, the K line at 6.99, so it's 7 as well too. And I've marked up on the chart, and I've put these square yellow boxes too, when the K line first dipped below 20 and then the D line followed, and what the price action looked like on the chart. And so right when we see the stochastic RSI for both the K line and the D line in blue and in orange at the bottom of the screen drop below 20, right when both of them pass below 20, that's when we've experienced major sell-offs in the market. The last one, the sell-off right when they dipped below, was 13% after that. Then when we bottomed out, we experienced a bullish cross. The bottom comes in and then the price reverses to the upside. And so the time before then, we could see the price sold off. When the K line first dropped below 20 and then the D line followed, the price sold off about 34%, found a bottom. We experienced a bullish cross all the way down here, and then the price bounces to the upside. And so right now, from when the K line dropped below 20 and then the D line followed, the price has already pulled back 37% for XRP. And so I think we're going to see a bounce here coming soon. As you guys know, every single time that the K line and the D line have dropped below 20, it has never not gone back above it. The real question is, how long does it stay below it? Right now, we're kind of curving around back now if we see another fake out, but eventually we will pass back above 20 for the K line and the D line. So on the macro, in terms of a long-term accumulation strategy, the best time to accumulate is when we are below 20. Now, obviously, waiting for a bullish cross is a smart move. And even if you buy after a bullish cross, there could be a fake out. So you just have to be prepared for stuff like that. You're not getting the best entry point sometimes. For example, like I'll zoom in here and I'll show you guys why this strategy is a good long-term strategy, even with fake outs. Because right here on the 15th of April, you can see the K line drop below 20. And then on the 29th of April, you can see the D line follow. Now, there were some massive fake outs here because it looked like a bullish cross took place right here, roughly on the 20th of May. The price was bouncing to the upside right here, and it looked like the price was going to make a recovery, but that's not what happened because it was a major fake out. Both the K line and the D line didn't pass above 20 for the stochastic RSI, and there was a reversal to the downside for another final low down here. So even if you bought at any point during this yellow box right here between 57 cents to 38 cents, if you zoom out, when the stochastic RSI finally did pass above 20 and go all the way up here above 80, you would have been in profit. Even if you bought at 56 cents, sure, it's nothing crazy, but you would have been up 17% waiting for the stochastic RSI to pass back above 80. And obviously there was major price suppression here on the macro for XRP, just forming lower highs right here while they were going through the lawsuit. Once everyone knew that the lawsuit was pretty much over, the price took off. Trump announced Made in America cryptocurrencies will potentially have no capital gains tax, but that has yet to be signed into law. Bottom line is XRP, Solana, Ethereum were added. Trump announced as a part of the strategic crypto reserve. And so even if we go through something like this with indecision between the bulls and the bears for a fake out bullish cross, right now we haven't experienced a bullish cross. The K line's at 7, the D line is at 7.32. But when that happens, just based on history, look at the 5th of February. We experienced a bullish cross. The price bounced from 49 cents upwards of 74 cents. The time before then, we experienced a bullish cross on the 11th of September. The price ranged from 46 cents, bounced to 55, dropped back down for another low to 46, and then rallied all the way up to 74 cents. So I think what's coming for XRP is something like that. I think we're going to range through here for a bit, and then we're going to see a bounce in the price chart. As long as we hold above $1.88, I think eventually this descending resistance is going to break for XRP. And then we're just going to watch the weekly stochastic RSI to see what happens there, because then inevitably there would be a pullback and a longer consolidation before we continue to the upside and break the all-time high, similar to what happened all the way back here in 2017 for over 200 days of consolidation. We just put in lower highs, but we also put in higher lows for a symmetrical triangle. Look at the stochastic RSI. We were all the way down here below 20, and we experienced a bullish cross, then a bearish cross, then a bullish cross. So it was during this period right here, which is very similar to what we're going through right now. So if I were to just trace this up for you guys and bring it over to where we're at right now, it would just look basically like this. Now, we don't know how long this consolidation period is going to be, or if we have another low to go in before we consolidate even further. We just have to look for confluence on the price chart and talk about multiple different things. So keep watching this video. But right now, D line and K line are below 20. And if we look back in July of 2017, that's what's happened during this period right here, where XRP was just putting in higher lows after this bullish cross on the 14th of August. So that's my expectations for XRP moving forward this summer. I think XRP is going to melt faces at the exact last month of the bull run, like it's done pretty much every single time. Because if you're a student of the game and you've been holding XRP for any period of time, you guys know we go through these long, boring consolidation periods, and then whammy, in a matter of a week, look at this, price explodes to the upside. Long, boring consolidation period. In a matter of a week or two, price explodes to the upside. Long, 2-year boring consolidation period. And then look at what happened with XRP right here in November. Boom, massive explosion to the upside. Now, what are we going through right now? Just a long, boring consolidation period. And then in a matter of a week or two, it's just going to hit people unexpected, and XRP's price will most likely explode to the upside. So stop paying attention to all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt out there and learn to look at charts. During the last cycle, a lot of people said that $60,000 didn't look like the top. They were buying into Bitcoin. I was selling almost everything around $60,000 in 2021 because it had a perfect textbook structure of a top. Now, most people that feel bearish at $85,000 or $80,000 because $108,000 looked like the top, I can completely understand your bearish sentiment. That's because you haven't experienced the bull phase yet. When the real top is in, you'll look at it and you'll know for certain without any guidance whether the top is in or not. And in my video 2 weeks ago, I talked about how BS it is with the manipulation that's taking place. And I brought up so many different indicators on the price chart for you guys to show you where we are in this macro market cycle for Confluence based on Tech Dev's charts here, which I think are actually incredible because everything you need to know is in the charts. It's not in what news anchors are saying on Fox, MSNBC, or what Donald Trump is saying. It's what repeatable patterns are showing based on Confluence from the past. So we can see Bitcoin's price chart right here with the liquidity weighted business cycle, and he color codes it to make it really easy to understand. During the entire bear market and the first 1, 2, or 3 phases of the bull, we just see the liquidity weighted business cycle come back up to retest this descending resistance until inevitably it breaks it, and then we see a massive breakout in the price chart. So we're right at this descending resistance right now. The real question is, do we break it or do we get rejected another time? But we bounced off this ascending support, and each of these arrows on the chart show it's impeccable from accuracy on a macro time frame. Now, of course, the chart's not going to look 100% the same, but we're at that rare point where liquidity retested its breakout and is surging higher, right as the business cycle bottomed and reversed. Only the third of these setups in the last 12 years. The other 2 propelled the crypto market to its steepest legs. So ignore the noise out there, he's saying. Global liquidity right here in the middle in yellow. We had a breakout and a back test of the previous high for global liquidity. Also around the same time that the business cycle bounced off a key support at the bottom in red that you can see while the price was consolidating. And then after that, we experienced a major breakout. So we even talked about this in my video 3 hours ago this morning on Ethereum's price chart and how what we're seeing is very similar to COVID. Now look at this, Master of Crypto posted this after my video talking about how Ethereum in 2025 is following the 2020 pattern. So we went through the COVID crash, the pandemic, and then we went through a massive rally. So 2025, Bybit was hacked. History loves repeating itself. And although it's not as crazy of a pullback as the pandemic was much quicker. This pullback is taking a little bit longer. Structurally, it looks pretty similar. And the altcoin market has already given you the blueprint. It's been drawn again, this time with more patience required because of how much more massive the range is from what we're going through right now compared to 2020. But in my video yesterday, we talked about the alt season oscillator, and TechDev just posted the alt season oscillator right now compared back to the previous cycle and where we're at right now at the tail end of 2020 before going into 2021. And we're just experiencing simply a pullback back to the previous range high that we consolidated at for 238 days. So Bitcoin is even above that. Bitcoin didn't even come back down to $73,000. So even if we see a little bit further of a pullback for Bitcoin and we range sideways like this for a bit, I do think a major move is coming in the market. And if it doesn't happen, then so be it. I don't even want the gains from this crypto market because it would just go against everything that the charts are saying right now. Look at the alt season oscillator in 2021 compared to where we are in 2025. It just passed the zero line at basically the exact same time that the market was pulling back to backtest the previous range high before a massive breakout. So I just think it's going to take a little bit longer. The 4-year market cycle shows that the markets would roughly be topping out between September to November of this year. So we have April, May, June, July, August, September. We have at least 6 months before the 4-year market cycle is in. So for people to be calling a top right now, I still think it's a little bit too early.